Everyone, welcome to a Diffusion of Excellence. My name is Shivajit. We will be continuing with PTC 65 of Environment. Okay, so wait a minute, we will be starting with our new topic today. So, today's topic is Global Environment Facility. Before starting, मैं आप सबसे दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि आप सब प्लीज़ रिवीजन रखिएगा जो भी हम कर रहे हैं या फिर जो भी आप अंडरलाइन कर रहे हो या फिर जो भी आप मेहनत कर रहे हो, ठीक है। आशा करता हूँ आप सब स्वस्थ हो और अपने मूल्यवान समय दे रहे हो तो कुछ अच्छे ही के लिए हो, ठीक है। सो ग्लोबल एनवायरनमेंट फैसिलिटी recently 67th Global Environment Facility Council approved 736.4 million funding. Okay, this is not much important. What are the key outcomes? Funding has been mobilized for projects from the Global Environment Facility Trust Fund, Least Development Countries Fund, and Global Biodiversity Framework Fund, which together are part of Global Environment family of funds. सो जो भी ग्लोबल इस फंड जो भी जहाँ से भी ये फंड लाया गया है ये इन सब फंड में से मोबिलाइज करके इस फंड पे जमा किया है, ठीक है। सो ये जो ग्लोबल एनवायरनमेंट ट्रस्ट फंड है, लीस्ट डेवलपमेंट कंट्रीज फंड है एंड ग्लोबल बायोडाइवर्सिटी पेमेंट, दिस आर ऑल सेम। ओके, नेक्स्ट, आई होप एवरीवन नोज अबाउट द साहेल रीजन ऑफ अफ्रीका। यस, okay. Next, enhancing green to Indian projects, enhancing the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity to meet commitment of Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework targets, and cohabitat conservation and sustainable management of wetland, forest, and grassland to secure the populations of the migratory species along with the Central Asian flyway in India. These projects are implemented by the UNDP, United Nations Development Programme, along with Indian Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change. Okay. So Global Environment Facility is Genesis is in Rio Art Summit. Okay, and what are the functions? These are the 5 functions. One is five convention: UNFCCC Convention on Biological Diversity, Convention on Combat Convention to Combat Desertification, and Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, and Minamata Convention on Mercury. So GF Trustee, who is the GF Trustee? It is the World Bank. Okay, next, Antarctica Treaty. Antarctic Treaty. So 46th Antarctic Treaty Consulting Meeting and 26th Committee on Environment Protection concluded in India. Where does it take place? It takes place in India. More on the news. These are hosted by the National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, Ministry of Earth Science and Government of India. So this was hosted by National Center for Polar and Ocean Research under Ministry of Earth Science. Please remember Ministry of Earth Science, not Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. Okay, so these are the key provisions. Please have a look on those. India's Antarctic initiatives. So India's research station like Dakshin Gangotri, first research station, but now it is currently in non-operation. Okay, so currently is in operation are Maitri and Bharati. Maitri is in 1989 and Bharati is in 2012. Okay, so what are the Antarctic Act reaffirming treaty commitment and enacted in 2022. So other initiatives in news: Climate Technology Center and Network. Its headquarters is in Denmark. It is implementation arm of technology mechanisms of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So Climate Technology Center and Network, it is an arm of UNFCCC. It is hosted by UN Environment Program. Okay. Next is Climate Promise Initiatives. So UN Development Program unveiled a Climate Promise 2025. About Climate Promise Initiative, it is an initiative to support the developing countries on their climate action. So to support developing countries. So please remember, Climate Promise Initiative is a part of UNDP and it is initiated to support the developing countries on their climate action. It is the world's largest offer of support for nationally determined contributions. Each party to Paris Agreement are eligible. Next is Greening Education Partnership. So what is Greening Education Partnership? It is also UNESCO launched 2 new tools, new greening curriculum guidance and new green school quality standard under Green Education Partnership. So what is this? It is a global initiative comprising 80 member states and support countries to tackle the climate crisis by harnessing the critical role of education. Means एजुकेशन का एम्फेसिस रखते हुए हम क्या करना चाहते हैं, क्लाइमेट को कंट्रोल करना चाहते हैं या फिर पोल्यूशन इन द क्लाइमेट जो है उसे हम कंट्रोल करना चाहते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज क्लाइमेट पॉलिसी इनिशिएटिव्स. इट इज ऑल्सो ए पार्ट ऑफ UNFCCC COP29. ओके, COP21 is in Azerbaijan, Baku, Azerbaijan, and COP30 will be held in Brazil. Okay, so next, science-based target initiatives. What is science-based target initiatives? Science-based target allows company to offset greenhouse gas emissions from the value chain. Science-based Science-based Target Initiative is a corporate climate action organization that enables companies and financial institutions worldwide to combat the climate crisis. It is incorporated as a charity. National Information System for Climate and Environment Studies Program, conceptualized in 2012. It is operated by Indian Space Research Organization. So please remember NICES. NICES is operated by Indian Space Research Organization and Department of Space along with other ministers under the framework of National Action Plan on Climate Change. Next is International Network for Terrestrial Research and Monitoring in the Arctic. It is combined name as INTERACT. So INTERACT is a project of large network research stations focused on Arctic surrounding regions. About Interact, research stations spread across various countries including Northern Europe, Russia, US, Canada, Greenland, Iceland, and Scotland. So it is an inclusive technique. Okay, it is an inclusive technique. Next is MIAC, 1 million Youth Action Challenge. So 1 million Youth Action Challenge is promoted by One UN Climate Change Learning Partnership, means UNCC Learn. Aims to encourage youth aged 10 to 30-year-old to take concrete actions for a more sustainable future. It works to promote 4 sustainable development goals. So what are the 4 sustainable development goals? One is SDG 6. SDG 6 deals with clean water and sanitation. SDG 12 responsible consumption and production. SDG 13 is climate action, and SDG 15 is life on land. So please remember, one MIAC, that is an education initiatives of UN, and it is basically determined, or it is basically an initiative towards sustainable development goal. And which is the sustainable development goal? 4 SDG 6, SDG 13, SDG 12, SDG 6, SDG 15. So 6, 12, 13, 15. Next is climate mitigation and development. So to mitigate climate crisis and adaptation, so Ministry of Environment Forest has issued further guidelines on its green credit program. Okay, so what is green credit? A singular unit of an incentive provided for a specified activity delivering positive impact on the environment that can be treated on the dedicated change or similar to carbon credits. So see, I hope all of you have heard about the carbon credits. Carbon credits is just like it's a certificate that has been provided to a company. For example, say पकड़ लो एक कंपनी है जिसका नाम है XYZ और दूसरा कंपनी है ABC लिमिटेड. ओके, अब XYZ ईयरली 12 क्विंटल्स या 12 टन्स ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस करता है जो हवा पे रिलीज हो जाता है. ठीक है, पर अभी उसको तो कम करना था ना, तो जब वो कम कर देगा, नॉर्मल ईयर पे वो 12 टन्स रिलीज करता है एटमॉस्फेयर पे, पर अभी फ़िलहाल क्या किया उसने घटा के 4 टन्स या फिर 5 टन्स कर दिया. ठीक है, तो उसने कुछ इनिशिएटिव अलग से लिया है. तो उसका जो उसने रिड्यूस किया है उसके लिए तो उसे कुछ मुनाफा चाहिए ना, तो गवर्नमेंट क्या देता है, गवर्नमेंट या फिर जो अथॉरिटी है वो उसे कार्बन क्रेडिट सर्टिफिकेट देता है. ठीक है, कार्बन क्रेडिट सर्टिफिकेट देता है. अब ये वो कार्बन सर्टिफिकेट क्या करेगा, अगर पकड़ लो ABC लिमिटेड जो है वो कंपनी, वो ईयरली 8 टन्स ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस करता है जो एटमॉस्फेयर पे रिलीज हो जाता है. पर इस साल क्या हुआ था, उसने 8 टन्स तो उसका मिनिमम था, 8 टन्स उसका मिनिमम था, पर उसने क्या किया, 8 टन्स रीच कर लिया, मीन्स एक्सीड कर लिया. सो 8 टन्स एक्सीड करके उसने क्या किया, पकड़ लो 10 टन्स ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड प्रोड्यूस कर दिया है जो भी. अब उसके ऊपर पेनाल्टी लगेगा गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा. अब वो उससे अगर पेनाल्टी बचना चाहिए, उसे अगर पेनाल्टी से बचना चाहिए, वो क्या करेगा, XYZ लिमिटेड के पास अप्रोच करेगा, करके बोलेगा कि आपके पास जो कार्बन क्रेडिट है मैं परचेज कर लेता हूँ ताकि आपका भी मुनाफा हो जाएगा और मैं भी बच जाऊँगा. सो इसलिए वो कार्बन क्रेडिट सर्टिफिकेट ऐसे ही डील होता है. ठीक है, जब ये नॉर्मल से एक्सीड हो जाता है तब कार्बन क्रेडिट का ज़रूरत पड़ता है. ठीक है, अच्छा, उसी तरह ग्रीन क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम है. ठीक है, सो अंडर द ग्रीन क्रेडिट प्रोग्राम ऑपरेटिंग द Environment Protection Act. So it is operating under the Environment Protection Act. benefit individuals and community. Green credit activities may qualify for carbon credit, leading to co-benefits like carbon emissions. अब ग्रीन क्रेडिट से क्या फ़ायदा होगा? अब पकड़ लो, मैंने ग्रीन क्रेडिट जैसे कि मैंने फॉरेस्ट रिस्टोरेशन काम किया, या फिर कुछ ऐसा इकोनॉमी की रिस्टोरेशन किया, या फिर कुछ डेवलपमेंट किया, कुछ पेड़ पौधे उठा दिए, या फिर कुछ ऐसा किया मैंने एनवायरनमेंट को रिनोवेट करने के लिए, तो मुझे क्या मिलेगा? ग्रीन क्रेडिट सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा। अब इससे क्या होगा? कार्बन क्रेडिट का भी फ़ायदा हो जाएगा। जैसे कि मैं जितना जितना पेड़ पौधा उगाऊंगा उतना ही तो फ़ायदा होगा ना, वो उतना ही कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कैप्चर कर लेंगे। सो ग्रीन क्रेडिट से कार्बन क्रेडिट डायरेक्टली फ़ायदा हो रहा है ना, ठीक है। So it is under Ministry of Environment and Forest. Please remember, Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. Okay. So Green Credit Program, it is a market-based organization for voluntary participation to incentive environment positive actions and different stakeholders. अब यहाँ पे ग्रीन क्रेडिट जैसे कि पकड़ लो, अब मैंने जैसे भी XYZ लिमिटेड बोला है, उसने क्या किया? एक एनवायरमेंट फ्रेंडली प्रोजेक्ट इम्प्लीमेंट किया है। एनवायरमेंट फ्रेंडली प्रोजेक्ट का मतलब क्या है? उसने क्या किया? उसने एक लार्ज प्लॉट ऑफ लैंड उसने खरीदा है अपने नाम पे, और उसने क्या किया? वहाँ पे इको फ्रेंडली पार्क सेटअप कर दिया है। क्या? इको फ्रेंडली पार्क, ठीक है, जहाँ पे पेड़ पौधे भी हैं, ठीक है, घूमने के लिए अच्छा जगह है, ठीक है, फल फूल सब कुछ वहाँ पे लगा दिया। तो उसने क्या किया? उसने तो वही काम किया है ना, जैसे कि एनवायरनमेंट को रिनोवेट करने के लिए उसने काम किया है, एफोरेस्टेशन किया है कि नहीं? तो उसे क्या मिलेगा? उसे तब ग्रीन क्रेडिट सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा, ठीक है, समझ में आया। नेक्स्ट, ग्रीन वॉशिंग। So Central Consumption Protection Authority (CCP) has issued guidelines for prevention and regulations of greenwashing and misleading environmental claims. So Central Consumer Protection Authority. Please remember, Central Consumer Protection Authority. So what is greenwashing? ग्रीनवॉशिंग देखिए ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। ग्रीनवॉशिंग ऐसा है कि जब हम क्या करते हैं, कुछ प्रोडक्ट को एडवर्टाइज करने जाते हैं और उसका सेल बढ़ाने के लिए हम ये लिख देते हैं कि बढ़ा के कि नहीं वो इको फ्रेंडली है, वो एनवायरनमेंट को फ़ायदा पहुंचाता है, या फिर और कुछ, तो असल में वो नहीं है, तब इसे बोलते हैं ग्रीन वॉशिंग, ठीक है। हम बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है। जैसे कि पकड़ लो, अच्छा एक बार पढ़ लेते हैं डेफिनेशन, तो आपको और समझ में आ जाएगा। Guidelines define it as a deceptive and misleading practice which includes concealing, omitting, or hiding relevant information by executive making work false and unsustainable environmental claims. जैसे कि मैंने बोला है ना, ग्रीन वॉशिंग का मतलब क्या है? जैसे कि मेरा प्रोडक्ट एक है ABC, ठीक है, या फिर XYZ जो भी कुछ हो, एक प्रोडक्ट है, ठीक है। असल में वो उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या होता है? जैसे कि ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट्स है, ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट्स क्या होता है? ब्यूटी प्रोडक्ट्स क्या होता है? वो आर्टिफिशियल केमिकल से बनाया जाता है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली इट इज़ अ डिफेक्टिव टू एनवायरनमेंट। ये एनवायरनमेंट के लिए तो क्षतिग्रस्त है ना, एनवायरनमेंट को ज़्यादा नुकसान पहुंचाएगा, ठीक है। अब क्या होता है, जैसे कि या फिर बहुत सारे केमिकल्स या फिर बहुत सारे एंटीबायोटिक्स बनाया जाता है जो एनवायरनमेंट के लिए हानिकारक है। जैसे कि हमने पिछले वीडियो पे पढ़ा था कि बल्चर के पॉपुलेशन बहुत रैपिडली कम होते जा रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि बहुत सारे ऐसे एंटीबायोटिक्स या फिर पेन किलर्स यूज़ होते हैं एनिमल पे। जब एनिमल मर जाते हैं तो वो जो दवाई है वो उनके शरीर पे रह जाता है, और जब वो वल्चर आके उनके ऊपर फिट करता है तब वल्चर मर जाता है, ठीक है। तो ये क्या हो गया? ये एक तरह का क्या है हार्मफुल केमिकल्स है ना। तब तब जब कंपनियां ये केमिकल जब बेचता है तो ये नहीं बोलता है ना कि ये एनवायरनमेंट के लिए हानिकारक या कुछ। ये ऐसे बोलेगा कि नहीं ये शरीर के लिए अच्छा है, वैसे वैसे पेन कम कर देगा, विद इन 2 मिनट्स आपका पेन रिलीफ हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, ऐसा कुछ बड़ा चढ़ा के बोल रहा है ना। पर असल में तो वो जो काम कर रहा है कि एनवायरनमेंट के अगेंस्ट काम कर रहा है, वो तो नहीं बोल रहा है ना। तो वो नहीं बोल रहे, तो असली जो चीज़ है उसे दबा के वो जो चीज़ उतना भी ज़रूरी नहीं वो दिखा रहा है, तो उसे कहते हैं ग्रीन वॉशिंग। जो एनवायरनमेंट के लिए हानिकारक हो पर हम वो एनवायरनमेंट के हानिकारक बोल नहीं रहे हैं, तब ये ग्रीन वॉशिंग हो जाता है, ठीक। अच्छा, डायरेक्ट एयर कैप्चर एंड स्टोरेज DSC प्लस प्लांट। So it is an large plant that has been established in Iceland. So what is its function? It will capture the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and it will refresh it. Okay. So it is set up in Iceland. So please remember it is set up in Iceland. CO2 to methanol conversion. India's first CO2 to methanol plant has been proposed in Pune, Maharashtra. So it has been not set up; it was all just proposed. Okay. So what is its function? It will capture the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and it will convert it to methanol. Plant with capacity 1.4 tons per day is being implemented under the public-private partnership model. So what is this PPP model? Public-private partnership model. Here both government and private will collab and they will start the project. Okay, either 50-40, either build, operate, transfer, or build annuity model. Various models are there, whichever we studied in the economy section. Okay, जैसे कि देखो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड टू मिथेनॉल इन्वॉल्व्स कैप्चरिंग कार्बन emissions before they enter atmosphere from industrial source like power plant और directly from air. जैसे कि पकड़ लो कोई इंडस्ट्री डिस्चार्ज करता है, जैसे कि पेपर मिल से हवा डिस्चार्ज होता है डायरेक्ट एटमॉस्फेयर पे, तो जहाँ पे डिस्चार्ज होता है वहीं से हम कैप्चर कर लेंगे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, ठीक है, या फिर ओपन एयर से भी ले सकते हैं. Savored methanol, also known as wood alcohol, it is a low carbon hydrogen carrier fuel produced from high ash coal, agriculture residue, or carbon dioxide from thermal power plants. Niti Aayog's methyl economy is aimed at converting coal reserves and municipal solid waste into methanol. So, what is the Niti Aayog's program? Methanol economies program. Okay. So, notification for M15, M85, and M100 blends has been issued by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway. So, please remember M15, M85, and M100. These are all nothing but just a methanol blending program. Okay, please remember it. M15, M85, and M100. These are not all the symbol of bike. Okay, so many get confused. M15, M85, or M100. These are not automobile sector. These are all just a blending of methanol. Okay, next. Green Tag Transition Program. Green Tag Transition Program. Indian Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterway launched SOP for Green Tag Transition Program to drive transition from conventional fuel-based harbor tags to greener alternatives. So a tag is a particular class of boat which helps in mega ships enter or leave a port. So जैसे कि बड़े बड़े शिप होते हैं तो आराम से पोर्ट तक आ सकते नहीं है, तब उनको मदद चाहिए होता है, ठीक है. तब क्या होता है, छोटे छोटे शिप ऐसे होते हैं जो उन शिप को लाने पे मदद करते हैं. तो यहाँ पे ये बोला गया है कि ग्रीन टेक ट्रांजिशन प्रोग्राम, वो जो फ्यूल यूज़ होता है ना इन छोटे छोटे बोट पे, उसको हम अल्टरनेटिव फ्यूल कुछ यूज़ करेंगे, ग्रीनरी. ओके, next is terms known as carbon farming. So what do you mean by carbon farming? It uses regenerative practices to improve agriculture and restore ecosystems and combat climate change by storing carbon and reducing emission. Okay. What are the common methods? Agroforestry, conservation farming, integrated nutrient management, and renewable productions and grassland conservation. Carbon credit trading scheme. It is just like carbon credit certificate. Next, carbon border adjustment mechanisms. Carbon border adjustment mechanisms is just import and export. Okay, when you import or export carbon manufactured goods, so at that time it's all imports. So what is this? It is European Union's policy to impose carbon tax on imports of certain products from countries with less stringent climate policies. Still, okay. So Kazan Declaration adopted by BRICS rejected CBM, carbon border adjustment mechanism, calling it discriminatory. So please remember Kazan Declarations. Kazan Declarations is related to carbon border adjustment mechanisms and it was adopted by BRICS nation. Who are the members of the BRICS nation? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Please remember. Okay, and many more countries have joined it. Okay, Iran. I hope all of you heard Iran something or went out or not. Please remember. Please confirm it. Okay. So Kazan Declaration is all about BRICS, adopted by BRICS against carbon border adjustment mechanism. So what is this? See, this policy basically tells you that sorry, this basically tells you that many times country what the country does is that to export their products, to export or to increase the quantity of export of their products, they what they does is that they reduce the tax rate on their products. Okay, now suppose for example steel. Okay, steel is highly carbon content. Okay, now when steel enters into the other country, the carbon automatically gets into those countries. Yes or no? Okay, now to prevent all these, what the European Union has decided is that if you export such goods without imposing carbon tax or something tax, then when those products will get into our country, we'll automatically impose a tax, and that tax name is carbon tax. Now I hope you have understood. Yes. Next, what is killing curve? It is a record of atmospheric carbon dioxide from Mauna Loa Observatory. So killing curve is basically nothing. It's a graphical representation of amount of carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere. So please remember. Next is greenium. So greenium basically stands for green premium. Indian sovereign green bonds hardly receive any greenium from private investors according to economic survey. So green bonds are the instrument that funds specific projects activities characterized as green and other national and international green taxonomies. So now it refers to pricing based on logic that investors are willing to pay extra to accept the lower price. Now what is this? So greenium is that it is basically has been made, or green bonds are basically made so that the private industry invest on those, okay, and when they will invest their money in these projects, so those money can be utilized for something like green projects. But can you say that why industry should be interested in investing such green bonds? Because they have no interest on those, because they will have no profit in this investing. Okay, so this is the concern that has been raised. What is steel carbon? India's first steel carbon study undertaken in Kolodiya National Park. Also, Kolodiya National Park, where it is? It is in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. Please remember, Kolodiya National Park. Okay, steel carbon. So what is steel carbon? Refer to carbon stored in non-tidal freshwater wetlands, encompassing carbon sequestrated vegetations and microbial biomass and dissolved particular organic matter. Next, so how many types of carbon are there? Purple carbon. Purple carbon is basically from industrial emission. Green carbon stored in terrestrial plants. Black carbon burning of fossil fuel. Red carbon biological particles. Gray is industrial emission. So gray one is industrial emissions and purple. These are all industrial emission. Green from terrestrial, black from burning of fossil fuel, and red from biological particles. Next, representative concentration pathways. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change introduced representative concentration pathways in the fifth assessment. What is water credit? Water credit is just like carbon credit and green credit. So what is this? It is a market mechanism similar to carbon credit which incentivizes water conservation and quality improvement. So it is basically aim is to water conserve and quality improvement. Next is biodiversity credits. What is biodiversity credit? To have net positive impact on nature and biodiversity. So see, an economic instrument that allows private companies to finance activities such as forest conservation and restoration. So biodiversity credit. Now see, suppose for example, there is a benefit of biodiversity credit. For example, a company, पकड़ लो कुछ कंपनी है जो फॉरेस्ट या फिर फॉरेस्ट जैसे प्रोजेक्ट पे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. सो उन्होंने लगभग पकड़ लो कुछ इन्वेस्ट किया है. अब उनका एक इंडस्ट्री है जो मिस्टेकनली कार्बन प्रोड्यूस कर दिया ज़्यादा, तब उसको क्या वो कैसे बच जाएगा? वो बचेगा क्योंकि उसने ऑलरेडी इन्वेस्ट कर रखा था. तो जब वो दिखाएगा कि नहीं मैंने तो ऑलरेडी इन्वेस्ट कर दिया, तब उसके ऊपर पेनल्टी कम लगेगा. ठीक है, ओके. नेक्स्ट इज ग्लेशियल जियो इंजीनियरिंग. व्हाट इज दिस? इट इज डेलिबरेट modifications to the climate system down around a glacier to slow the melt of the ice shelf and reduce sea level rise. So glacial geoengineering, basically, I hope everyone knows that nowadays the glaciers are melting at a very high rate. Okay, so which results in rise in sea level. Yes, it is also results in decline or may affect the marine life, flora and fauna. Yes or no? So to basically reduce this melting process or to decline or to restore the environment, this glacial geoengineering initiative has been launched. So many organizations like United Nations Environment Program, these are in news. So Environment Fund is UNEP's core fund. Okay, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, this is jointly initiated by UNEP and the World Meteorological Organization. So please remember IPCC, it is hosted jointly by UNEP and World Meteorological Organizations. Major global multilateral agreements, I hope everyone knows. Okay, you have read many times. In the previous video, we have also read Minamata Convention, basically on Mercury, Rotterdam Convention. It basically has hazardous chemical pesticides Basel Convention, that is transboundary movements, and that is CMS on bronchial condition is migratory species. Okay, CITES, okay, endangered and endangered species. Vienna Convention, ozone layer. Okay, Convention on biological diversity and Stockholm Conventions for organic pollutants. So these are something. Next, moving to the next report, the World Meteorological Organizations. Now I just read that is IPCC is hosted jointly by UNEP and World Meteorological Organizations. So some of the reports that are released by World Meteorological Organizations, like State of Global Climate Report, WMO ozone and UV bulletin, air quality and climate bulletin. So please remember all these. International Cryosphere Climate Initiative. So what is this cryosphere? Cryosphere is a frozen part of Earth including snow, ice and permafrost. So International Cryosphere Climate Initiative, it is a global organization that is non-profit in USA based in Burlington and Vermont. Objective: reducing cryosphere warming to mitigate global climate risks. Okay. Next status, what are the report that is released by this organization? So the report that is released by these organizations are like state of the cryosphere 2024, lost ice and global damage. Okay, key findings: ice shelves in northern Greenland have lost 30% of the total volume. So next, from next day, we will be starting with pollution. Okay, please be with us, follow and subscribe. We have also released the video on the Facebook section. Okay, you can go with the name, with the same name. There is nothing such different. Okay, और अगर आप मेरे इस चैनल पे नए हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर कमेंट एंड सब्सक्राइब कीजिएगा। ओके, अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो तो आराम से आप मेरे साथ कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे कॉम मैसेज करके, या फिर कहीं से भी फेसबुक से चले जाएंगे तो वहाँ से भी कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। ओके, थैंक यू, हैव ए गुड डे, बाय बाय।